Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me in this live Q&A about the Tech Lead Week and also about the tech leadership roles. So, first of all, thanks for making the time during this afternoon, Monday, 20 September, to be here to learn more about tech leadership, to learn more about the Tech Lead Week that will happen next week. So we had already collected some of the questions. So this will give you some time to provide your own questions, and I will make sure that all of them get solved. First of all, I would love to thank you, my support team, to arrange this live session that will be broadcasted in LinkedIn. I want to thank you as well to our partners for making it possible, because we were not being able to reach all the audience that we have reached without their support. So thank you very much to everyone helping us spreading the word and making more noise. Thanks to you, we are now more than 800 people joining the Tech Lead Week. We have the last spots available for this week. So if you have anyone interested in joining around you, your teammates, your colleagues from university, whoever that you think that is willing to take leadership positions or is in tech in general, is a developer, is an engineer, please invite them to join this Tech Lead Week. And I'm sure that they will get the value of the time they will invest. So without more introductions, the last one is myself. So my name is Alvaro Moya. I'm the founder of Leader.co, which is the company behind the Tech Lead Week. Our purpose is to help others navigate the transition from engineer software development to leadership positions, because it's a kind of a black hole, I would say, in terms of there is no clarity of the roles. There is not a standard approach as you can get in, I don't know, agile or product management, where everything is much more well-defined. The resources are scattered all around the web. You can find plenty of videos that are useful, plenty of blog posts that are useful, but they are not collected. And for sure, there is not enough communities to bring all of us together to discuss our fears, to discuss our challenges, to learn from each other, to launch our questions about that. And that's why I created Leader in the first place now 1 year ago, because I was missing this kind of environment, this kind of ecosystem for myself as a CTO after 7 years. And I wanted the new ones that are going to save the future, because it's now that the startup ecosystem is thriving, where the big companies of the future, the Facebooks, the Googles, the Airbnbs of the future are now getting out of the oven. And I wanted those companies to be able to succeed where tech was not the bottleneck in any of the situations. So that's why, for me, tech leadership is one of the most critical things to succeed, because when the teams grow, you need to understand that you are not a developer anymore. As a leader in tech, as a CTO, as a middle manager, you need to bring that structure to the team. You need to have management roles and individual contributor roles. They have different functions and they need to work together in the most efficient way. This is the only way you can deliver high-performing teams, right? So in order to do that, you need certain skills. You need certain processes to master, like one-on-one, hiring, being in the performance reviews for your teammates. And unfortunately, there is no standard approach to do that. There is not grouped content to do it. And there is no community to share your fears and your doubts about these topics. So that's why Leader.co was created. And the Tech Lead Week is just our yearly free event where we give back to the community in the form of 6 hours live training during 4 days to explain everyone which are the things we do, which is the way we do these kind of things, these kind of trainings, so you can understand, trying by yourself, what we can add as a value for your professional development, right? Much better than a promotion, much better than a discount, much better than anything else is to try it yourself. This is the one of the leverage that SaaS companies are using in order to grow that much, right? Free trial. And we want to bring this to the community, because this is what we have got, for example, from the open source trend and the open source movement. We have been able to grow much faster our products in tech just because others were employing their free time, their leisure time, to build libraries, to build helpers, to build boilerplates in order for us to facilitate our work, our development, right? So that's why we bring this Tech Lead Week for all of you. That's why we want you to spread the voice, because we want to reach as much people in tech as possible. No matter if it's a CTO, you can bring your teams and deliver an opportunity for upskilling, 6 hours of upskilling totally for free for your team. If you are a developer, you can get that opportunity for yourself and your peers from other companies. If you are a consultant, if you are a recruiter, you can bring this to your customers or your teams. So at the end, everyone in tech will benefit, especially software developers, and that's why I wanted you to invite others, and this will help us spread the voice. So nothing else. Let's start with some of the questions that we got before the live session. So let's see what you were putting as questions and voting. So the first one, what's the difference between tech lead and team lead? This is something I have been asked in some of the mentoring session and in some of the trainings, especially when we are preparing the development process for companies and preparing this career ladder for them. They want to know which is the difference, because at the end there is no clear path. And I would say that is not clear for me as well, because some companies have the team lead role, some companies that have the tech lead role, and some companies have both, right? One role more technical, related to the technical decisions and being in charge and responsible of the delivery, and the team lead being in charge of people's processes, hiring, the culture into the team, the performance reviews, right? So in some teams there is tech lead and team lead. In some teams there is tech lead and engineering manager. In some teams there is only tech lead. In some teams there is only team lead. You don't know, but at the end, for me, tech lead, it's very, very similar to team lead. And for me, if I need to choose one word, for me, it would be team lead. Why? Because the tech lead is kind of being the expert of the team, and in high-performing teams, and when you have these cross-functional teams, being the most expert maybe shouldn't be a role in itself. You have more expertise. So in the degrees, you are a 10 out of 10 instead of a 7, but maybe it doesn't entitle you to have a formal role, because your role is still the same that all your peers have in your team, even if you have more expertise or more seniority. So if we are talking about that person that is taking care of the team, taking care of having team bonding, taking care of delivering what the team is expected, for me is more like a team lead. Even if it's a technical team, for me, the important word here is lead. It's not tech or team, it's lead. You are leading others. Maybe it's your first time, but you are leading others. You are mentoring the junior people that is coming into your team. You are setting up the career ladder. You are helping them navigate that career ladder so they develop the skills they need in order to jump to the next position. They are getting help from you in order to clarify if they should continue in the IC, in the individual contributor path, or they should jump into management. If they are looking for a position, maybe you are sponsor them to get that position in another team, or maybe starting as a mentor of one or two into the company, or delegating part of your role as a team lead, so they get used to the things, they get used to the tools and the processes, and they get used to scheduling for management, which is very different to scheduling for development. And then they get the taste. They taste the waters. They know if this is for you or them, this is for them or not, and they can decide. These are all the things that you can do as a team lead. And at the end, they are shared responsibilities between tech lead and team lead. But if I need to choose just one word, for me, I think team lead speaks more about what you are doing. More questions? Okay, another great question related to the lack of clarity of the roles I was mentioning before. Engineering manager or tech lead, who should I hire? The role is, in this case, is a bit different, but again, depending on the stage, maybe you find a tech lead that is running a team of 5, and you find an engineering manager that is running a team of 4, depending on the role, depending on the company or the stage, right? Or you can find, even in the same role, an engineering manager that is running a team of 10, and maybe you find another engineering manager that is running a team of 5 tech leads. Each of one is leading a team of 5. So you are a leader of leaders. Normally, for me, that's more or less the distinction. So when you are a tech lead, you are still into a team. So you are leading people. As an engineering manager, I tend to understand that you are already leading leaders. So you have different squads, different teams. Each team has this people referent that can be this tech lead, team lead. And then you, as an engineering manager, are directly leading them, right? It's kind of another layer in terms of responsibility. And here you have different skills to master. For example, now you don't communicate directly. So if you get the vision clear from your CTO or from the CEO, and you need to transmit that vision, you need to inspire your team, you need to motivate them, is one thing. What if you need to motivate them through others? That's another completely different thing, because you need to be able to, again, inspire, motivate your leads, but you need to help them to transmit that message with the same power and the same conviction. So all the other teams behind, all the people that is actually part of those teams are getting the message and are getting as inspired as they would do if you are directly delivering the message, right? So there are different responsibilities here, but definitely for me, this is normally the difference between tech lead and engineering manager. Normally, engineering manager, you run more than one team. Maybe you lead those teams directly, 5 and 5. You are leading 10 people in different teams, or you are leading those teams through others. In that case, maybe you can run more teams because you are having only 4 or 5 direct reports, because they have as well another 4 or 5 direct reports. And actually, I think this is the normal evolution. If you are growing with the company, the first thing you will do is maybe having, as an engineering manager, if it's the first engineering manager role that is opened and you already have some tech leads, maybe you are running your own 2 or 3 teams, and then at some point you are putting tech leads there, and then is the first time that you are jumping, and then you are running 3 teams, and then maybe in the future 4 teams and 5 teams. But the difference for you in terms of complexity of the role is just like, instead of having 3 direct reports, I will have 5. So this is more or less how it works, and that's for me the difference. So instead of who should you hire, depends on the stage of the company. So if your team is still enough, you maybe don't need engineering managers yet. You can start with these tech leads that are running the people processes related to those teams, so the CTO can delegate that. And then if the company keeps growing, for me, engineering manager is the next step you put into the middle management position. So it's someone with a bit more expertise leading teams, maybe leading technical projects that are a bit bigger in terms of scope and complexity. And then you put that engineering manager in the middle between the tech leads and the CTO, so the CTO keeps growing, the company keeps focusing on the strategy for the next year, keeps talking to other stakeholders like investors, keep in touch with the CPO, VP of product, in order to understand how they can deliver the product roadmap together. Or maybe at that point they start focusing a bit more on having DevOps into the company, focusing a bit more on security, having their own department of data or AI, etc. Right. So at that point, you have one person that is taking care of the people things and those processes, and then that engineering manager is taking care of these tech leads in order to run the company properly. Okay. So depending on the stage of the company, you should be hiring one or the other. We have another here. I want to become a good tech lead, but I don't know where to start. How would I accomplish this? Okay, let me think about it while I get some water. Okay, so I assume you are in development right now. You are an engineer, software developer. For me, the first step is that you are clear that you want to become a tech lead. So you have done this process of, I don't know, self retrospection. Before, you have been asking others and checking what's in the role for you, and you are clear about that. Okay, first step done. Now, how you can, I mean, you have the North Star. Now you need to build a ladder in order to reach that North Star, and then here is where you can be a bit lost. The first thing I would recommend you is, again, to talk to others that maybe you have already checked with them before about what is there for them, what is there for you in the role, and you can ask them, how did they do? So they can give you practical advice, especially if it's close to you and maybe in your same company or in another company, but in the same technology hub, maybe in the same industry. So maybe the company is the same stage or is more or less the same size. So you can have this useful direct feedback and not just going to Quora to check a generic answer, right? So I would start with that. If you don't have those people at hand, I would recommend you to get a mentor. Even if you need to pay for that, it will pay off, right? There are a lot of different programs where you can get a mentor, from the one we have on Leader or Mentor Quiz or Plato, also for leadership positions as well, platohq.com. There are plenty of them, even Mentoring Club. I think there is one new initiative running in Germany, Mentoring Club. You can use those kind of platforms, both free and paid, in order to get the knowledge and get some clarity on what you can do next. But I would say, on top of getting your own resources, either as peers that are already there, either as a formal mentor, some of the things you need to do is to understand which skills you will need to get there. So which is required from me for the role. If you have clarified that, and this is something that we do in our programs and we will go over in the Tech Lead Week, imagine that there are some skills A, B, and C that you still don't have. Imagine empathy, and then one of the proxies is one-on-one, and then being able to mentor others, okay? You know that these three things that you are not an expert on because you have not done it before, you need to develop them. So first of all is being aware about the things you need to develop. And this is part of the self-reflection, okay? We have a career mentoring guide at Leader. We can share actually during the Tech Lead Week, where you will be asked the right questions in order to understand where you are now, the status quo, which are your skills, what do you like about your work, what do you like about the other work, what you don't like about the new work, the new job as a leader from your expectative right now, right? But this will give clarity on what you have and what you miss. And then the next question is, hey, which are my skills? What I need to develop? Once you have this kind of DAFO, this kind of this FODA, this kind of matrix with your skills, your skills to improve, kind of your weaknesses, the opportunity that is there for you as a tech lead. Once you have this clear, you need to know how to develop. So imagine those three: one-on-one, mentoring, and I said empathy, maybe? Okay, building empathy. The next step is to develop them up to a 13 level, so you can get the formal role at the end. This is the middle step that I call informal leadership. Is a point in time where if your company don't support that, you can still work on some activities, some initiatives into the company and out of your company to develop those skills. So when you are asking for a promotion, when you are asking your manager for new opportunities, when you are asking HR for opportunities to lead, or even you are looking for them in the market, once you face those interviews, you can put those skills on the table to say, hey, I have been developing empathy. I think I can be a great tech lead because of I have empathy. I have been mentoring others in this official mentoring program, which is a mentoring club, for example. I have been speaking in public in this meetup, and I have been exposing my technical expertise in this topic in this conference. I was invited in this podcast. So I'm used to communicate. I have been training my active listening skills through mentoring. And now I think I am prepared to take on the role with a small team of 2 to 3 people. So if there is any opportunity for me, I would love to know about them and taken into account for a promotion. This is more or less the speech that, as a manager, I would love to hear from someone that is taking the initiative, is being proactive, and is taking the lead of their own lives. Is taking the lead and is coming prepared. It's like, okay, I want the job, and then this is what I put on the table. And I want the job so hard and so strong that I have been already training myself, even without your help. I asked for your help, and I got this budget for these kind of courses. I had also the opportunity to mentor some junior in my team informally. And on top of that, in my leisure time, I have been participating in this event, in this open source community, in this mentoring program, blah, blah, blah. This is what is going to make you a well-rounded professional. Start building these T-shaped capacities that are so demanded nowadays. And then at that point, you will be prepared to take on the role, right? You will not need to have such an onboarding experience where you are developing those skills. But even if the company provides you with that onboarding process, it will be easier for you to master all the needed processes and skills that maybe you are missing by that time. Okay, this is a question about TechLead Week. If I can't attend the training, can I receive the material after? Yes, some of the people that were invited and were aware of the top of the event were asking for that. For sure, we will be recording every single session. So, okay, according to GDPR, we will explain that everything is being recorded, but we will share immediately. So even if you came for the first session, then for the second, but for the third, you are missing it, no worries, because you will be able to get for the fourth, get connected, because we will deliver the video immediately afterwards. So if the session is from 6 to 7:30, you can expect the video to be delivered in the next 4 to 5 hours. So by the next day, you can watch the video before joining the final session, right? So this will be there. You will have access to these videos for the entire lifetime. We will not ban you, right, from this access. We will share as well not only the recordings but also the material, the templates, the exercises. Everything will be collected and delivered in a useful way, so everything is ordered, and you will have them forever. So don't worry about that. Is there any other question? It seems that we don't have more questions here. Do we have more questions on LinkedIn Live while we are running the session? Nothing else? Okay, if there is only salutations, we can close the session here for this Q&A. We will put it on our YouTube channel as well for people that is not able to join, so you can come back to these answers again. So thank you so much for participating first in the live session, but also for participating with your questions and voting the questions that were more interesting. So now 1 week until we start with this TechLead Week. Really willing to have you on board. I would love to have more questions prepared now that we have been working on these topics, so you can ask them during the live sessions during the TechLead Week, and we will make sure that we have some time to answer them. I have one question more. At which time will the sessions be? So it will be from 6 to 7:30 CET, Central European Time. Okay, now is 7:30 here. So this will be normally the time we end the sessions. Okay, 1 hour and a half each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from the 27th to the 30th of September, from 6 to 7:30 CET. Thank you, Bastian, for your question. If there is no more questions, we will leave it here. Thank you very much for your time, your commitment, and see you again in 1 week now in the TechLead Week. Bye-bye.